Big news in the world of golf late last night. Five-time major champion BrooksKoepka has quit LIV Golf.
BrooksKoepka has just detonated a bomb under the professional golf world, and the aftershocks could be strong enough to finally cripple LIV Golf. Whispers are growing louder by the day that the five-time major champion, once paraded as one of LIV's crown jewels, is quietly exploring an escape from his Saudi-backed contract and considering a return to the PGA Tour. That alone would send any sports fan into panic mode. But the chaos doesn't stop there. Golf's most unpredictable figure, JohnDaly, has erupted with one of the most brutal anti-LIV tirades anyone has heard, openly mocking the league while passionately defending the PGA Tour. And just when it seemed the lines of this golfing civil war were firmly drawn, Rory McIlroy shocked everyone, talking about reconciliation, unity, and the possibility of a path back for LIV players. For the first time in years, professional golf stands on the edge of either peace or total collapse. To understand why Koepka's potential exit is seismic, we need to rewind to June 2022, when he made the controversial jump to LIV Golf. This wasn't a fading veteran clinging to relevance. BrooksKoepka was a dominant force, built for the biggest stages, with 5 major championships under his belt and an aura of inevitability when pressure peaked. His decision didn't just make headlines, it shattered the narrative that LIV was only attracting older stars past their prime. Koepka's deal, rumored to be between $100 and $150 million guaranteed, wasn't just a paycheck, it was a statement. LIV was willing to buy legitimacy fast. At the time, the move made sense on paper. Koepka's body had endured knee surgeries, wrist injuries, and long rehabs that constantly interrupted his momentum. The PGA Tour's grueling schedule offered little mercy. LIV promised fewer events, guaranteed money, no cuts, and the freedom to manage his health. For a superstar trying to extend his career, it looked perfect. But what LIV couldn't. Guarantee was meaning. Koepka has always been wired differently. He doesn't chase regular season trophies or weekly accolades. He lives for majors, for moments when the field is elite and the stakes are crushing. And that's where the cracks began to show. LIV's smaller fields, unconventional formats, and lack of historical prestige couldn't satisfy a competitor who measures his greatness against the very best, not against guaranteed contracts. The most damning blow came from the sport's governing system, the official World Golf Ranking. LIV's events remain excluded, and without ranking points, each tournament quietly chips away at relevance. Koepka's ranking has slipped, and with it, his path to major championships has become precarious. Instead of focusing on peaking for the biggest stages, he's been forced into a constant calculation of exemptions, invites, and diminishing opportunities. For a player obsessed with legacy, this is suffocating. Reports suggest Koepka's frustration has been simmering for months. He hasn't gone public, but insiders say he misses intensity, pressure, and tournaments that actually matter. He misses Sundays earned through grit, not staged narratives. Most importantly, he misses being fully in control of his destiny when it comes to majors. That frustration has reportedly sparked quiet conversations with PGA Tour leadership about what a potential return could look like. Timing is everything. Koepka's contract reportedly allows exit flexibility after the 2025 season, which could open the door as early as 2026. But returning to the PGA Tour won't be simple. All LIV defectors were suspended, and reinstatement would likely come with fines, conditions, and public backlash. Some fans and players might welcome him as a prodigal son. Others may see someone who took the money, burned bridges, and now seeks forgiveness. Koepka's decision isn't just about himself. If he leaves, the damage to LIV would be existential. He wasn't just another signing. He was proof that the world's best could thrive outside the PGA Tour. His departure would scream the opposite message: no amount of money can replace prestige, competition, and legacy. Once that illusion breaks, the floodgates open. And then comes JohnDaly, the ultimate golf rebel, a man who has spent decades clashing with the PGA Tour, being fined, criticized, and sidelined more times than most players can count. Yet, in a stunning twist, Daly has unleashed a blistering critique of LIV, calling it a joke, and passionately defending the very tour that once punished him. Golf's ultimate rebel now defends the system and calls LIV a joke. That line hits hard because it's raw, ironic, and unforgettable. If you enjoyed this story, consider subscribing for more golf insights. Daly's words cut deeper than any polished PR statement could. He attacked LIV at its core, arguing that golf is about earning your place, respecting history, and building a legacy through competition. He accused players of selling out for easy money and lighter schedules, only to realize too late that respect cannot be bought. Coming from a man whose career was defined by excess, risk, and controversy, Daly's authenticity is brutal. If even JohnDaly thinks you crossed a line, it tells you something. His statements have resonated with fans who see LIV as a symptom of broader problems in modern sports: guaranteed riches, minimal accountability, and a willingness to overlook ethics for financial gain. Daly didn't just criticize a league, he voiced a cultural backlash quietly brewing for years. Then there's Rory McIlroy, whose evolution might be the most consequential development of all. For years, McIlroy was a LIV's fiercest critic. He didn't just oppose the league, he framed it as a moral failure. He positioned himself as the PGA Tour's standard-bearer, even at the cost of friendships and locker room harmony. He became the face of resistance. Recently, McIlroy's stance has softened in ways few expected. He's begun openly advocating reconciliation and unity, acknowledging that golf's fractured state has hurt everyone. He's hinted at a path back for LIV players under the right conditions, suggesting that the sport might be stronger if the war ends. Rory, once LIV's fiercest critic, now speaks of peace, and that shifts everything. This change is enormous. When the PGA Tour's most vocal defender opens the door, it alters the entire power dynamic. It gives cover to players who stayed silent. It signals to sponsors and broadcasters that healing might be possible. And it creates a realistic path for someone like Koepka to return without being completely ostracized. The question remains whether McIlroy's shift is heartfelt or strategic. The 2023 Framework Agreement promised unity between the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and Saudi-backed investors, yet years later, its results remain uncertain. McIlroy's words could be a prelude to a merger or genuine attempts to stabilize a sport on the brink. Either way, the implications are massive. If McIlroy is willing to forgive, the narrative around returning LIV players changes overnight. Koepka's potential return would shift from betrayal to redemption, from scandal to strategic comeback. What's at stake is nothing less than the future of professional golf. LIV's legitimacy, the PGA Tour's authority, and the legacies of the sport's biggest stars all hang in the balance. Koepka's decision could validate years of criticism or force the PGA Tour to confront its own rigidity. For LIV, losing Koepka would be devastating. It would confirm fears that money alone can't satisfy elite competitors. For the PGA Tour, welcoming him back would be messy, politically charged, and controversial, but potentially necessary for the sport's health. For Koepka, the choice is clear in his mind: stay for guaranteed money and diminishing relevance, or return to uncertainty, pressure, and the chance to cement his place among the greats. Whatever happens, one thing is undeniable: the next chapter in professional golf will define an era. BrooksKoepka isn't just making a career decision, he's shaping the future of the sport itself. And as JohnDaly and Rory McIlroy make their moves on the chessboard, the rest of the world watches, riveted, knowing that the fallout will be nothing short of historic.